Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Rayab from the Cleveland branch GMS, coming back at you through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakar Kudash Barakatah. I like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone, the real leaders of Israel on earth today. I like to send salutations to the hopeful elect, the brothers that's pushing this truth in season and out of season with all truth and all sincerity. I'm gonna get into a quick lesson fresh out the plantation. I'm gonna start off with Romans 15:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning." What was written before time? Talking about the scriptures, man. Talking about everything that our forefathers went through. King David, all the way back from Adam down to Shem, down to our forefathers. Everything from Genesis to Malachi was written for our learning, man. So who's learning though? For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native, and Seminole Indians. It's written for our learning, because we are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. The ones that came from the western shores of Africa, but we are not Africans. And was put on slave boats and brought to the shores of America. This is Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. It says, "He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation." So those things that were written before time was written for Jacob and Israel, because he's not dealing with no other nation. So I'm going to go back to Romans. Romans chapter 15 verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." Hope for what though? Hope for the kingdom of heaven. You know, hope for the black Messiah to come back and redeem his elect. Hopefully I'm part of that number. But we got hope for the kingdom of heaven. Hope for the scriptures. Since I'm in Romans, I'm going to get Romans 13 and 11. This is Romans chapter 13 verse 11. It says, "And knowing the time, that now is the high time to awake out of sleep." It's not talking about actual sleep though, like you sleep in your bed. It's talking about spiritually sleep, because our people don't know who they are. They think they African Americans. They think they Negroes. They think they black when black is a color. They spiritually sleep. It's not about in the bed sleep. I'm going to get that in Revelations. This is Revelations chapter 11 and verse 8. Revelations chapter 11 verse 8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city." What's that great city? America, the U.S. Ain't Donald Trump talking about make America great again? Even though it was never great for so-called Negro or so-called Latino or so-called Native American Indian, it was never great for us. This is the white man, so-called white man's kingdom. But it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt." It says spiritually called Sodom and Egypt because of the homosexualities that the so-called white man promotes to our people. And it's spiritually called Egypt because of the hardcore bondage and slavery and oppression that we've been going through for damn near 500 years. It says where also our Lord was crucified, because they painted his picture in the Renaissance era as an Edomite, a so-called white man, when the scriptures clearly tell you that he was a dark-skinned man, very dark, with white woolly hair. What so-called white man do you know with white woolly hair and dark brown skin? He was from the tribe of Judah. Matter of fact, let me just, this is Hebrews, Shalakia. This is Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14. It's evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Judah is the head tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. He was the fourth son of Jacob. But it's the head tribe. Nothing but kings and princes come out the nation of Israel. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians are princes of the power, man. You sons of God, man. You ain't just niggas and spicks, man. So it's high time to wake out of sleep. If so-called Jesus, which is real Hebrew name is Yahweh Shah, was to walk the earth today, his race would be a so-called Negro. They would call him an African American. I'm driving, so I keep having to turn my head and trying to do this at the same time. But this is Exodus chapter 4 and verse 26. It says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the motherland, not Africa, not America, Jerusalem. Because in 70 AD, we were chased from Jerusalem to the western shores of Africa, trying to escape Roman persecution and hardcore bondage and hardcore slavery. So we head out on the western shores of Africa. And then the Africans, the Hamites, and the Arabs, the Ishmaelites that the Bible speaks of, and the so-called white man, they all got together and put us in hardcore bondage. The so-called Jewish people funded the slave boats, and the Africans rounded us up, and the Ishmaelites built the boats. That was quick through the spirit, Akim. I'm on the freeway coming through these tunnels, so I gotta keep my head up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close out. I hope that was edifying. So I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahweh Shah, B'Hashem Rakal Kodash Barakatah. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to you brothers, you Akim, that's pushing this truth, man. We almost home. Shalom.